think you'll get something out of that. Vince Gill is standing by. We'll chat with him here in a few moments. We're on hold. He's doing a lot of media today for his new album, and the new album's called Down to My Last Bad Habit. And been reading a little bit on what the themes are in the new album, and he makes a good point. I won't get into it now. We'll talk to him when he comes on.
Looks like an all-star lineup too.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff there, and he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he's had a lot of success, and so he's talking about what it's like to be now 59 years old, and so we'll talk to him about his new album. And Vince Gill joins us now. Vince, welcome back to the Rick and Bubba Show. How are you today, buddy?
I'm pretty good. How you boys?
Oh, yeah, we're getting after it.
Sound like you're kind of busy today, too.
A lot going on.
Yeah, I got to work, man. I got to keep Amy Grant in the manner she's accustomed to living.
That's funny. That is funny. Hey, I was just talking. You really hit on the topic. We've been doing this radio thing now 22 years, and sometimes people will say to us, they'll say, well, when I listened to y'all in the 90s and whatever, and I'll say, well, you know what? The man I was in the 90s and the man I am at 51, that's not the same man. I have different life experiences. I have different things going on. And you touch on that with the new album. And I love when you make the point about when people say their new album is their best. But if you've been doing it a long time, shouldn't you be better than you were?
Hopefully. The curve, my ears is really where I trust myself the most, and just let them tell me what I'm doing. And in comparison, yeah, I feel like I sing better and play better and write better songs. And I think more than anything, when you get older and you do this as long as I have, I made my first record 42 years ago, you find yourself not wasting the time that you might used to have, in that you know what not to do. And you're more honest with yourself. You're more willing to edit yourself. You know what you can and can't do, so you don't waste a lot of time. I think the real beauty of this is what you don't play and what you don't sing, what you don't put in the song.
When you obviously have a unique voice, and when you first came on the scene, everybody was like, "Good night." And you're saying that you think you're singing better now. What do you mean by that? Just you know what to do with your voice better than you did then?
Well, it just, to me, I think there's more emotion in my voice. I think when you're young, you're so focused on singing, seamless, and I think that you find that sometimes the rough edges and a little more angst and a little more emotion are more interesting. That's what I'm really trying to accomplish, is not to impress somebody, excuse me, with the way that I sing, but trying to move somebody with the way that I sing. That's important.
Vince, this is like an all-star album. You got all kind of help on here. How does that process take place? I mean, do you have a song and you think, wow, it'd be great to have this friend on it, or is it that level you call people, or does your management suggest things? How does all that come about?
It's cash money in a brown paper bag. No, it's it's the same way I've always done it. I'm not trying to line up famous people to come and be on my record because they're famous. I really like the sound that like with his new single, Little Big Town, is perfect for that record, because it kind of feels like a throwback to maybe a Fleetwood Mac era type song and sound, and there's four guys and gals that sing together that make that joyful noise, and all I'm trying to do is put the right sounding part on any of these records and songs, and just like maybe a guy would make a movie, you try to put the right character in there to play the part.
How about having some of your own family members singing with you?
I was going to jump into that. When you talk about this, because all of us as dads, and we talk about this a lot, we don't parent from who we used to be. We're parenting from who we are now. And part of that is being open about the mistakes that you've made in your life along the way. I've had these conversations with my children when you take on things, and I've got them from 26 to 14. And your 14-year-old daughter is singing with you, but singing with you on a song where you're talking about, hey, I've made some mistakes.
Yeah, I think that's really beautiful. And here's a man that I'll be 59 in a month or two, and singing a song with my daughter of her seeing me be fallible and mistaken and just not necessarily doing it all right, but I think it gives think it gives a kid an insight into, when you're a kid and, all you think is you only get grief for everything wrong you do.
Right.
And I just think it's important for her to see that I'm honest,
Well, and you might be able to speak to something because you've been there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like as a parent, I'm kind of encouraging of my kids to make a mistake, because I think that once you've made a mistake, then you're afforded the opportunity to learn something. And you're not going to learn anything when everything's going good and going right. And same with a career. If you're knocking it out of the park and killing it, it's real easy to react to that.
Sure.
But then once you start struggling, then let's see what you're made of.
We've said it so many times, and you're taking it on through the music and your family being in music, and there's this daughter singing with you on a song that's so personal, and what an incredible point. But at the end of the day, if you parent and you try to parent correctly, it's hard and it requires effort, and you got to do tough things.
Yeah, I know. And with this, it's with her being so young and taking her into the studio, I had to kind of really put on a double pair of kid gloves, know, 'cause words can wound, unfortunately, and I think I can look back to my childhood and remember more of the woundings than I can a lot of other things. So I'm very careful, and I just, told her, I said, man, we're going to try this, and it may work, it may not. Let's go have some fun, and just going to see if it works. And so you set them up to succeed, and hopefully you will.
Are you excited about the idea of your daughters following in singing, or is that something you'd go, girls? Wait a minute,
no,
check up on that.
No, you know what? I've had the greatest life. Been doing this. I've been making records and working on records for 42 years, and I've had a great life. I wouldn't steer my kids away from a life I've led. I've had a great life. So
yeah, and you tell them all about it, though. You tell them the good and the bad.
You could probably guide them a little bit when it comes to contracts, agents, and record companies, though, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's
keep
right.
Keep them away from a few crooks. Yeah,
right. Because you show them, where you are, and I've talked to my kids about this, and how fortunate we've all been to still be doing what we do for a living, and then you remind them of the many other people who tried the same thing and it didn't go that way. So you have to know it's not a guarantee.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you something. You look throughout history, and the children of people that have done pretty well. It's a tough road.
It is.
I think it's a much tougher road, because then all of a sudden there's a comparison and an expectation almost that's unrealistic.
Yeah, we can get them opportunities, but we can't get them any guarantees.
That's right.
They still have to make that part on their own. Well, it looks. I'm going to go ahead and tell it's the best album you've ever done. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah. You said hopefully it should be if I've been doing it this long. Let me tell you, it drops tomorrow. Those of you that are looking for it, the day's tomorrow. It is Down to My Last Bad Habit, which, by the way, Vince, very funny title.
It is. Do you ever name that last bad habit?
The song does. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a love song in a sense that this guy talks about. He quit cigarettes and sold that old Corvette and doesn't roll with the boys no more and this and that. And he said, I'm down to my last bad habit. I quit everything you left me for, but I'm down to my last bad habit.
Oh, that's good. And also,
wait a minute. Why did Sell the Corvette make the list? What's wrong with that?
And the new single with Little Big Town we just talked about is Take Me Down, and that's already doing well.
You mean the country ABBA?
Everybody,
Oh, no, they're not.
Watch
out. You're incorrect, my friend.
We know, Jimmy. We're aggravated.
Yeah, some of them come from our neck of the woods, so keep an eye on them. So anyway, Take Me Down, the new single with Little Big Town. Of course, the album drops tomorrow, Down to My Last Bad Habit. Vince Gill, better than ever at 59 and seasoned with wisdom, and you should enjoy. He plays better, he sings better, and has learned a little bit through the road he's been on. So it's a great album, and you'll enjoy it. Add it to your repertoire. Thanks a lot, Vince, for taking time to be with us. I know you're in
good to talk to you.
You pulled in a lot of different directions. Tell the family we said hello.
Do the same. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, man.
All right, we'll be back.